Good to be here. Thank you so much. And yes, a revolution is upon us. And I'm really excited about it. You know why? It's going to change the world in amazing ways. We're going to have to, all of us here in this room, adapt. Make sure that we embrace this revolution. Otherwise, the world will just pass us by. This is a revolution that is going to result in responsible consumption, thanks to informed purchase decisions. I'm going to tell you all about that for the next 20-some minutes. But first, let me ask you a question. When was the last time that you really actually enjoyed researching a product? Well, let me tell you about my son, Percy. He's 11. For the last several years, he has been saving up his money. This kid could absolutely pass that marshmallow test. He doesn't touch the money. It stays in his cute little bank. He has been thinking about what product he wants to buy. And the big moment came. He decided he wanted an RC car. Not just one of those cheap ones. You go into Walmart and you pick off the shelf and it lasts for, I don't know, a hot second because you jump it off of a cliff and it combusts. No, not one of those. He wants a real RC car. RC hobby shops are hard to find. We end up finding one. We take the 30-minute trip. We go there. And you know what? It's magical. Have you ever been to one of these RC hobby shops where the roof is like the ceiling is covered with flying planes, usually busted up? There's train sets that are running all around the perimeter of the shop. It's like really something to see. The salespeople are not salespeople. They're hobbyists. They love RC vehicles. They spent hours, a lot of my time, talking to Percy about every single option that he could find in the hobby shop, like every option. They took him through all the different vehicle types that he could buy. They told him about the original kit that he was thinking of getting and how the electric batteries in it were interchangeable, like everything is interchangeable. But they would buy back that original battery that he had, and in exchange, he could use that money to buy an upgrade, right? A faster, longer-lasting battery for his car. He learned about every single detail about all of the components in this car. He was so thrilled to part with the literal cash in his hands to buy this vehicle. It was a confident purchase decision. It was a really rewarding experience. He does have orange hair, by the way. And it's that buying experience, either as business buyers or consumers, that we all seem to have lost. The joy of finding the right product and feeling confident that what we bought is going to last. It's going to be fit for purpose. Instead, we're bombarded with choice, typically for like low-cost, cheap products, right? Like we are enticed by the latest sale, the latest trend, the free shipping and free returns. We're trained to shop a deal. And you know what? At the end of the day, the stuff that we get usually just either, you don't use it anymore, you use it for a hot second, or it's so cheap that you just throw it away anyway. It all lands up in a landfill. It ends up there. It's reckless. We live in a world of reckless consumerism. Those are sad planets, because intuitively, we all know where this is going. The World Wildlife Fund said in a recent report that if the rate of consumption that we are on right now continues, by the mid-2030s, we are going to need the equivalent of 2 planets in order to keep up with us. People are aware that the choices that we make have consequences. But you know what? We lack the information that we need in order to make better choices. So we keep buying. And this is the stat that gets me. As a result of us buying all this stuff, only 1% of the stuff that we've bought is still in use 6 months after its purchase. Shocking. There is evidence, thank goodness, however, that people want to change. We do, we want to change. One study found that 76% of buyers said that they are, and they want to support companies that are trying, right? Like that at least showcase that they are part of something bigger. They want businesses to make better choices. They want transparency to understand those choices that businesses are making. They want to feel good to choose quality over quantity. These changes, these feelings, these choices that people are making, that is the force behind this revolution that we're talking about. I'm going to get a little academic on you here, because when I say revolution, you might be like, oh God, Kristen, that's a big word. But you know what? Revolutions have been studied. They generally come in 4 different stages. The first here is that symptomatic stage. This is where a lot of the awareness comes in. There's some sense of urgency. There's public discourse. There's debate. There's advocacy. People want change to happen. And then there's the crisis phase. This is where like the big events come in. There's a tipping point that happens where, you know what, it just turns into that next phase. There's a moment in time you can point to it. Actually, you can probably point to it if the clouds weren't here, when the tea bags were pushed over the boats in the harbor right behind us. That's a tipping point of a crisis. And then there's the recovery and the normalization phase. In this way, in this phase here, that's when the new becomes the norm, steady state. And then finally, after this crisis and the normalization, there's a period of reflection of the crisis and the revolution. So here we are. We are squarely, deeply in the first phase of that revolution. People are speaking up, they're joining forces, they're actually actively getting companies to change their ways. Campaigns like this have been popping up in popularity in recent times, more and more. Has anyone ever heard of Buy Nothing Day? That happens on the same day as Black Friday. And you know what? Millions of people around the world, this is not just an American thing, are participating in this. Another signal that this revolution is getting close to its crisis point is a shift in buying behavior. Akinio did a survey last year, and we found that fully 2/3 of consumers are spending more time than ever before researching their products. Researching. More time is spent upfront than in the actual purchase and return phase. And you know what? What they're looking for is, gosh, I don't want to have to buy 3 of the same thing, 3 different versions of the same thing, and then return 2. They want to get it right the first time. They're also looking for those things we talked about, more responsible companies. Another sign that this revolution is about to crest is the heightened engagement and activism among young people. Thank goodness for young people. They will change this world. This shift is happening when a young person realizes that a brand or a company is more invested in social and environmental responsibility. They are 27% more likely to buy from that company than older generations. And we need young people. We need them, A, because for the next several decades, they're going to be our customers buying stuff from us. And B, they are our future workforce, and they care. They want us to be responsible. I love this one. We're also seeing this increased surgence in minimalism. I mean, I'm not there yet, but lots of people are. They're prioritizing relationships over things. Most Americans say that they've got too much stuff, and it actually gives them mental anxiety, and they're taking lots of pills for it. But have you seen the Netflix series, The Minimalists? These guys are on fire. They have this Netflix series, 80 million viewers. They've also produced a video, a movie about it. They even have a podcast that apparently is the most popular podcast in the world. Lots of superlatives here, but minimalism, it's on the rise. People are cutting things out. They're choosing purposeful purchases. And we simply cannot ignore the sharing economy, which is estimated to grow to $335 billion with a B dollars next year. It's a lot. You know the premise of the sharing economy. You've got stuff that's lying around and you want to get more usefulness out of it, maybe get paid for those products that are just sitting there collecting dust. And on the other side, you don't want to have to buy something in case you are only going to use it once or twice. Because let's be honest, I do not need a drill. I need a hole in the wall. Businesses are leaning in as well. we have seen more responses. I mean, you've seen the responses from corporations, including those efforts to promote CSR. How many of you promote CSR? Well, just 10 years ago, only 20% of the companies on the S&P 500 published a CS report. Now, it's over 90% of the S&P 500 are producing a CSR report. If you're not producing one, get on board. B Corps, you know B Corps, they're picking up in popularity as well. There are 6,500 B Corps around the world and in hundreds of different industries. It's hot. But if maybe you were thinking, Kristen's up there and she's like a granola crunching hippie, she's telling us that people, want to change their ways. Fine, maybe. I do like granola. But perhaps the most important signal that you cannot ignore, and you will be forced to comply with, are government regulations. This is where the inflection point actually happens. That crisis moment is going to be here, whether you like it or not. As an example of some of these standards, in the US, there are 6 states already that have passed right to repair laws. Half of the states in the remaining US have legislation in place to also pass right to repair laws. What this provides, these laws, is the ability for us as consumers to actually, if we wanted to, repair our products instead of having to send them back to the original manufacturer for repair. It covers everything. You can't get away from this, from wheelchairs to electronics to agricultural equipment. Another example, DPP, Digital Product Passport. This is an EU regulation that is coming fast. It's going to be live and be required by 2026. It's 2024. 2 short years from now. It's a blink of an eye. Yes, it's in the EU, but it applies to any business that is selling products in the EU, which I know many of you are and will be soon. As a seller, you are going to have to disclose every single piece of information about all the materials that go into every single product that you sell inside of the EU. Where it's made, how it's made, what it's made of. It's a ton of product information that you need to get ready and be able to expose. And then you've got the automotive industry alone. Soon, California is going to make a requirement that every single brand new car that is sold inside that massive state of hungry automotive drivers, the 100% of the cars being sold are going to have to be some flavor of EV or electric. When California makes a mandate like that, especially in the automotive industry, people change, companies change. All of these regulations, they're just the tip of the iceberg. Once they're fully rolled out, or even close to being fully rolled out, that's when that tipping point is going to happen. You'll have no choice but to comply. So yeah, we can't deny that all of those forces, all of those signals are pretty powerful. And you know what? I think perhaps we also should recognize that maybe we have been participating to encourage some of that irresponsible consumption. Maybe we have been focusing so hard on the customer experience that we didn't even realize that we were fueling the bad behavior. We were looking at the customer and we were trying to figure out, where do they research, where do they buy, what do they want? And then we built a journey or several journeys, and you know what? We pushed them down there. We enticed them with the latest flash sale, their hottest new item, or free shipping and free returns, just to get them through our customer journey, to make them purchase, whether they needed it or not. We did that. We wanted to give them a great customer experience. And it's not for all nefarious reasons that hyper-focus on CX led us down this path. It's really because we've been trained. We live in a world, especially in America, where conventional economics tell us that in order for the economy to grow, your business to be profitable, to make money, you got to sell more stuff, right? Like, feed the engine, get people to buy more. That's what makes America great, right? Buy more stuff. Plan obsolescence of your products. Get out the latest version and make sure that the old version is no longer cool anymore. Keep your prices artificially low because you know what? They would probably be higher if you actually factored in the environmental and social impact of producing them. But the people have spoken. The revolution is coming. And we could choose to really put in our heels, dive in, and anchor ourselves on that customer experience and feeding the engine with more. You could pretend like all of the things I said aren't real. You could try to ignore it. Maybe you think it can just pass by and this is not going to have that crisis and inflection point. I beg you not to. This is one of those moments where if you don't embrace it, your bottom line is going to take a hit, and the history books will not treat you well. And I absolutely do not want you to walk away thinking that I am not a capitalist and I don't like making money. Quite the opposite. Because selling stuff is not the only way to fuel the economic engine. In fact, studies show that high-purpose brands will double their market value more than 4 times faster than low-purpose brands. There is real, actual money to be made in joining this responsible consumption revolution. So, instead of maybe pushing that latest sale that you're about to push, the next email, next frivolous ad that shows free shipping and free returns, so you buy 5 and you return 4, create situations that encourage confident buying experiences. Make sure that you create those moments like my son had in buying his RC car. It's not that hard, I promise you. I have 3 ways that you can get going right now and engage in this responsible consumption revolution. 3 tangible, actionable steps, along with amazing customer examples. So let's get going. Let's see how we can engage. First step that you should absolutely take is to set a high standard of complete, rich, contextual, emotionally engaging product information and content. You have to make sure that that surfaces on every single channel that you have before the purchase, at a purchase point, after the purchase. Great product information standard. You know why? Because it's good for the environment, but also because you're going to save money. The typical Akinio customer sees a 20% reduction in returns, millions of dollars saved every year in reducing returns. That's on top of a typical increase over a 3-year period of 15% in sales. I'm more confident because I understand the product. I'm going to convert at a higher rate. Making sure that you have a high quality standard helps with discovery, conversion, reduction in returns, good all around for your business and the environment. Okay, so let's take a look at the product experiences of US Electrical Services. They are one of the country's leading electrical distributors with 150 locations. You know who their customers are? Electricians who are hopping around from site to your house and to somebody else's house. And you know what? They need to have confidence that the products that they have are going to solve the problems of electrical whatever in our homes, right? This is a roll of tape right here. It may have gone a little fast, but did you see all of the product information that they were describing about a roll of electrical tape? That is confidence that I am buying the right bulk purchase of tape. I'm not sending that back. Sending returns back in an industry like this is a death sentence to loyalty. Death sentence. They're just going to go to Home Depot and get it next time instead of buying in bulk from your business. Thanks to their focus on PX, these guys are seeing reduced returns and a 10% increase in revenue across their digital channels. I mean, come on. You didn't know that there was that much to learn about electrical tape. And if you thought tape was important to get right, returning furniture is expensive. And you might imagine that the risk of returns for furniture goes up when you start selling online. But Tikamoon here prioritized product information. Now they're allowing their customers to have these beautiful 360-degree views. They have care instructions, detailed assembly information. You can choose the varnish to customize your vanity. You see those drawers are coming out in the vanity. My gosh, it's going to look perfect in your bathroom. This particular product here and all the rest of their products used to be a pretty basic product detail page, maybe 5 pictures, 7 bullet points. Now they're providing 300 times more information on every single product. That was on Wayfair. It was such a huge success on Wayfair that they rolled out that product experience across all of their channels. Perfect. Business is booming. And I love this example. This is a different kind of a product experience standard. This is Wüsthof knives. Sure, they could talk to all of us about the features and the functions of their knives, how sharp it is, is it used for cutting meat or fish or cheese? But you know what? I took a look at this $1,500 knife, and I am drawn in. I want that knife. It's beautiful. And you know what? I don't think I would ever even consider buying that knife if they only talked to me about features and function of that knife. This product page, this product experience, it's a work of art. And that knife is a work of art. I want that knife. That is a different kind of product experience standard. Okay, so that was the first step. The second step is, once you've got that standard out of the way, participate in the sharing economy. You know it's the next big market. I told you it's big. It's only growing faster and bigger because there's money to be made here as well. If your product is able to be resold and reused, somebody's going to do it. So why not you and take a piece of that resale value? So let's see who's doing that. B2B global technology distributor Insight Enterprises has got it all figured out. They have over 1.4 million products online, and they showcase their refurbished products right alongside their new, and right alongside the environmental impact for choosing these products. They're incentivizing on the better choice as well as a great price. Their commitment to product experience and seeing that higher information yields higher business value and more brand loyalty got them to take their product completeness percentage rates from 15% before to upwards of 90% now. That's how you provide a better rebuying experience. You're not laughing at my jokes. I mean, come on. What do Lady Gaga, Victoria's Secret, and your home entertainment studio have in common? Solotech. Solotech is a company that contracts with businesses to supply lighting, sound equipment, these things that I'm wearing right now. Previously, the equipment that you see all around here would just go to a landfill after the professionals using it decided that it wasn't high enough quality for Lady Gaga, or for me, because, same. But what they realized is that these are durable, professional-grade products. They can refurbish these products and offer them for rental or for sale to individuals who actually, past COVID, have had a lot of need for these types of products in our home production, our home studios. They're not only saving these products from the landfills prematurely, but they're also capturing that value from those products. And of course, how can you forget about fashion? Huge winner in the pre-loved space. Check out Michael Kors' pre-loved platform. It allows us to find fresh new looks with previously loved products. Do you know what one of the hardest parts of participating in this shared economy is? Authentication. B2B companies have a concept around certified pre-owned, but B2C is a little bit harder, right? Consumers, you can't always trust what we do. And so Michael Kors has pretty much got this figured out. What they've done is allowed only loyalty customers to sell back on their pre-loved platform. You know why? Because as a loyalty member, they track every single one of my purchases. So when I go to resell one of my handbags from Michael Kors, they know that at least close enough, they have to do less work to validate that the bag that I'm selling back is actually the bag that I bought. Authentication problem solved. Genius. Also, bonus points here, I'm a more loyal customer. because I now have a way to give back, sell back my bag really easily, frictionless, and then go buy a new bag. And you know what? Bonus points for Michael Kors, because now they have a resale market where they're able to invite those young people who maybe have less disposable income and want that bag that I gently used. It's amazing. Wins all around for the business, customers, and the environment. Okay, so here's the third step. Once you've got those first two, join us in this revolution to empower your buyer with transparency about environmental and social responsibility initiatives and products that you are offering. You know it's good for business. Let's just start there. But those regulations are coming, so it's better to get ahead of it than to be forced into it and be caught off guard when you actually have to make the change. If you can showcase that at least you're trying, you are going to win more consumers, more business, and their loyalty down the road. So let's take a look at who's doing this. B2B producer of pens, Pilot Pens. I know you use them, you've seen them. They know that plastic waste is terrible for the environment. They sell plastic pens. They know they are part of the problem, but also they took an initiative. They are now showcasing a really small line of products made from recycled plastic water bottles. And then they launched a campaign to, quote, change the ink, not the body. And in all of their B2B catalogs, they're making sure that the refills are really well showcased. It's like the first thing you see when you're shopping. All so that you can use the same plastic pen several times. And you know what? Thanks to all of these PX initiatives showcasing these products, these pens are accounting for 60% of the total sales of their business. The pens are only 20% of the entire product catalog. Then you've got this last example, which I guarantee is the poster child for what our future looks like. Asket is a Swedish clothing company that offers only a single permanent collection of high-quality clothing. No seasonal offerings are found here. No on-trend designs are found here. Their goal is to break that overproduction, overconsumption habit, addiction that we have in fashion. Yes, this t-shirt here might cost you $50, but thanks to a really engaging and informative product experience, you're gonna know this t-shirt inside and out. You know that it's super high quality and you're gonna be able to wear it more often than a regular t-shirt. You're gonna be able to find the complete cost breakdown of every single material and labor that went into creating this. You'll know the carbon impact, the environmental impact, the water waste that went into creating this particular t-shirt. They also give detailed care instructions if you get a stain or if a different shirt that you bought has a button, how to repair it. And you know what? They also encourage you to send it back to them directly when you're done with it, because they don't want it to end up in a landfill. They're either going to recycle it or repair it. Poster child, right here. Buying this t-shirt, I kind of feel like I'm doing my part in this world, in this revolution, right? Like this is me taking action to be part of the revolution. That is what our future looks like. Those are all attainable ways to actually showcase your products, sell more, reduce returns, boost the economy. So it's first, set a really great product standard, one that's relevant to your customers, to your business. And then participate. It's easier than you think. Participating in the sharing economy. You want to be part of it now. Take a step into that sharing economy. And then finally, showcase, before you're forced to do it, how you are trying to be part of a responsible consumption revolution. You might be surprised, like I was, about Pilot Pen's uptake of the products that they have. And I don't know if I said it or not, but obviously, all of those customers are Akinio customers. As a Akinio customer or a prospective customer or a supporter as one of our partners, you're all encouraging these behaviors, these tactics, this engagement in the responsible consumption revolution. You have everything that you need right now at your fingertips to participate. And what inspires me the most is that there are over 900 Akineo customers around the world who are choosing product experiences as their central way to showcase their products. They're choosing to empower and engage customers in confident buying experiences. And those companies that are actually getting the most out of all of these tactics aren't doing them in a silo. In fact, they're wrapping them inside of a broader product experience strategy. And you know what? Many of them have C-suite sponsorship, and gosh, sometimes they're even lucky enough to have the CEO as their sponsor, who then also takes it to the board, and product experiences are a board-level discussion. And you know what? It's differentiating. Because all of the other customers out there, your competitors, they are still focused on pushing people down that customer journey instead of showcasing their products. So now is the time. Now is the time to stand up and revolt against the CX obsession. Because if you don't get ahead of the revolution, it is going to take your business by surprise. Tomorrow, buyers from businesses and consumers are going to take decisions on the transparency of your business, the product offerings that you have that are responsible. They're going to make those as much of a priority as price and convenience. And the good news here for all of you is that all you really have to do is more of what you're already doing. Invest more in that PX strategy. Make it a bigger point of discussion inside of your companies. Make it easier for all of your partners to help and support you as well. So I just want to thank you. Thank you for empowering consumers and business buyers to make better, more informed, really engaging product experiences. Thank you for reducing the burden on society and the earth. Thank you for powering this cultural revolution toward more responsible consumption. Thank you.